What if I do this?
There.
Yep. Great. Now I'm going to get a big head about everyone cheering for me.
Like, these are my fans. Oh, that's a good one. I love that.
I do too. And then we got a laugh track.
I think we're good enough at our laughing.
And I like this transition.
Ooh, we could play that today when we transition from us reading the different the stories.
Oh yeah, in between. Yeah, that's a good idea. So, okay, so I just wanted to show you. I thought that was cute.
I love it.
Yeah.
By the way, this is the true fruit. I don't know if you guys have gotten this yet. So good.
What is it?
What is it?
Chocolate covered frozen fruit.
Ooh.
So this is pineapple with a little bit of coconut in the white chocolate.
Nice.
And then there's raspberries covered in dark chocolate.
Oh, yum.
Yum. And it's healthy because it's fruit.
That's right. I bet grapes would be good because frozen grapes are delicious anyway.
We learned that this year. We've learned so much.
We have. We were like,
Then you're using the frozen grapes in your coffee drinks.
Yeah.
I was so confused, you guys. But I didn't want to say anything because Amy's like the drink mixologist, and I'm like, this is probably good.
Okay, that's odd, but I'll go with it. It's fine.
You know, she knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
I'm smart in other ways.
Hi, Ghosty fam. Welcome to the Activity Continues podcast. This is Amy, and as you know, usually we recap episodes of the TV show The Dead Files, but they did some weird thing where they cut the season in half, and we think that the next season is going to be the next season, like season 16, instead of a continuation of season 15, but we don't really know what's going on. So when we do find out, we will let you know. But what we're going to do today, Megan, do you want to tell the listeners what we're going to do today instead?
Oh my gosh, I've been waiting all day for this. So we are going to be doing listener stories today. So these are stories that have been sent in by you, our wonderful listeners. So here on the docket, the first story is from patron Leisha, read by me. Yay! It's her birthday today. Today is the 23rd, the day that we're recording. You guys won't hear this until, I think, Amy, I think it's August 3rd. But today it's the 23rd, so happy birthday. And then AP is going to read us a story from listener and Instagram follower Raven.
Yeah.
Amy L will read you a story from listener and patron Heather. She has sent us a bunch of stories. Like, she has had so many experiences, and we read 3 of them last week. This week we're finishing up on with the last one that she sent us. Then finally, we have a special guest. Our patron Zoe is joining us all the way from Yorkshire, England, to personally tell us some ghosty stories. And I hope I said that right, because I always want to say Yorkshire, but I feel like it's Yorkshire. So
I think it's Yorkshire.
I hope so. But before we get to all that, please say hello to Amy P., aka AP, our newest team member. She keeps us in check with facts, trivia, tidbits of information, and everything in between. Hi, Amy.
Hey everyone. Really excited to give us a little patron update that now anyone can join our Ghosty fam for free. That means
my favorite price.
That means you don't even have to pay anything to come and join us and have some fun. You can join to get updates when we share public posts and can easily upgrade to a paid option when you're ready, which we would love, but we'd love for you to just join us anyways. Just go to Patreon. The link will be in the show notes, and click Join the Community.
Yep, there's a little button below the little puka, and it just says Join the Community. So you can get in there, join, and you will only be able to see the public posts, the ones that are not for patrons that are paying. Mm-hmm. But there are plenty of those, I think. So
yes, there are.
And then also one other thing that I don't know if everybody knows about Patreon, but if you listen to podcasts on a podcast app, like any podcast app that allows you to add a podcast via an RSS feed, which is basically a link that the podcast host makes, that it connects whatever device you're on to the podcast out in the ether.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can download the podcast so that if it doesn't show up if you're looking for a certain podcast and it doesn't show up in a directory, you can get the RSS feed and pop it in and listen to it anyway. Well, Patreon has made an RSS feed of our Patreon exclusive posts.
Mm-hmm.
So once you get in there, if you're a patron, once you get in there and dig around, you can find the RSS feed and then pop that into your app so that you can listen to it in your app instead of having to go out to your computer or however you want to get to Patreon. But anyway, it's a cool way to do it.
Yeah.
I do for the patrons I follow, I do that for mine. And that's like, it's a lot of extra episodes for some of these people that I've looked at. And it's nice to be able to listen to it right there where I listen to everything else and not have to go bouncing around to different apps. Motion is detected at the back door.
I was going
hear
to say,
Vivi.
I think I hear Vivi.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's Vivi.
She's letting us know you're all
Yep.
safe. She's on the lookout.
She's
She'll
like, I
protect
got it.
you.
I got it. It'll
She'll
be
bark
fine.
people to death.
So I will create a Patreon post explaining how to do that so everybody can do it. I'm not going to explain the whole thing right now because whatever, it's boring. I also want to tell you.
Whatever, it's boring. You don't want to hear that.
Whatever, it's boring. I'm censoring
People,
myself for you.
They come for our jokes. We know that.
Yes, they sure do.
I didn't want to say it, but
The thing is, when you push the button, it takes a while for
it's
it
a
to
delay.
go.
Yeah.
So I have to run over there and push it. Okay. I want to say one more thing.
Okay.
I want to tease a little bit about what we're doing next week.
Please tease
we're
because
Super excited. We have a very, very, very special guest next week. I will spoiler alert a little bit and say that it is not Amy Allen. I don't want anyone to get super excited. Think it's Amy Allen.
we
It's
would
not.
be shouting that
It's-
off
I know.
every social media account that we have.
I know. It's not anybody from the show, but
No.
I'll give you a little hint. We are looking for people to come on who are the following: paranormal investigators, psychics, mediums, shaman, and the ever elusive chaos magician. So it is not a chaos magician.
No.
It could be one of the other things there that I
Yes.
mentioned. But anyway, we're super excited about that.
And Reiki
And then-
Masters, is that?
Oh, Reiki Master. Yeah, I forgot to put
Yeah.
that on the list. Yep,
That's okay.
Reiki
I just
Master.
wasn't sure if that, I don't know.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
yes, for any of those.
Yep. And then just another funny little aside. I was on Twitter today messaging one of our people, and I saw Amy Bruni post, and she says, the amount of people writing and commenting to tell me good luck after leaving the Dead Files is alarming.
I know.
It's really confusing. Both their names are at the beginning of the alphabet.
I mean,
One's a medium.
It's probably everybody in the Facebook group, let's be honest.
I know it probably is. I retweeted it and kind of commented back to her, and I'm like, I'm in the Dead Files Facebook group, and I can't even tell you how many times people think you are the one that's on the show, and they call themselves fans.
Yeah.
But they think that Amy Bruni is the one on the Dead Files.
Well, aren't all mediums the same?
Well, she's not even a medium.
She's not a
I know.
medium.
I'm teasing. But
All Amy's are the same, though, so I do get why that would be
they are all
confusing.
the same. I'm surprised nobody's wished you well, honestly.
Right? All right. Well, I'm glad we got an early start because right now is our start time.
Yeah.
So content warning, the only content warning that I think, unless we start talking about something else, is that one of the stories briefly mentions the death of a spouse.
And
Okay.
is it one
What?
about a child ghost?
Oh, you did
Zoe's
say that.
story is about a child ghost. Yes.
Yes.
And she said it's a sad one. So
Mhm.
yeah,
Great.
you're right. Thank you for reminding me.
Thanks, Amy.
Okay.
AP.
AP, that's what you're here for. So Megan, do you want to go first
Yeah.
with our patrons
Yep.
story? Take it away.
Nice. Oh my God. We are going to use that so much. It's not even funny.
I almost spit my water all over my computer.
All right. So this is Leisha's story, read by me. Here we go. Quote, okay, ladies. So there are several occurrences I can relate, but I thought I'd keep to the Dead Files adjacent stories. Also, for the record, this is me talking. None of us have read these stories. So,
I have.
okay,
'Cause
Amy Lotsbird's read this story,
I
but
read the stories.
AP and me have not read these stories, so we're both doing a cold read. So, all right, back to the story. Last episode of season 14, The Dead Files, was in Flagstaff. I moved to Flagstaff the summer of 1994 to continue my education at Northern Arizona University. I chose to live in the dorms my first year there since I knew no one living in Flagstaff. I was given a single room, no pesky roommate, lucky, on the 3rd floor of Morton Hall. Morton Hall is notoriously haunted. There's even an article in a recent issue of Pine, our alumni magazine, about Morton being haunted. What amazed me was that as I read through the stories, they could have been written by myself or several girls that lived there at the same time as myself. The room next to me was a locked storage area that no one lived in, and there was no floor above the 3rd floor. There were many times that some friends and I would be in my room and hear what sounded like someone dragging an extremely heavy piece of furniture through my room. We could even feel the floor vibrate underneath us. The entire floor was and still is notorious for stereos, televisions, and other electronics just coming on. And they always come on with the volume at full blast. Oh my God.
Jeez.
I've had that
It
happen.
was, oh my God, I would shit my pants. It was so annoying since no one would be home in the room it occurred in at that time. That's even spookier.
Yeah.
Like, it's spooky if it's happening in your room and you're just reading and all of a sudden the TV comes on.
Yeah.
But to be in a room where nobody's
Or
in.
wakes you up at
Yes.
7 in the morning at a resort hotel.
Oh, well, I mean, at least it's, it just wanted you to get a good start on the day. It just wanted you to, like, grip the day by the balls and take control or whatever they say.
Carpe diem.
Yep. That's what the ghosts believed. Almost weekly, at least, we'd hear knocking and footsteps coming from the locked, empty room, which again is storage next to my room. We'd all run out in the hall, running about like maniacs trying to catch a living person in the act. I mean, I'd do the same thing. But no one was there, and they couldn't have gotten away in the time it took us to run out there, a whole 15 feet. We would often still be able to hear noises coming from behind the locked door. I had so many experiences happen so regularly that my hockey player friends and boyfriend wouldn't even stay with me overnight. So yeah, it was crazy. That is crazy. I agree. You're brave to have stayed there overnight. I would have noped out. I would have found somebody else. I would have slept in my car. The building of Morton Hall is one of the oldest on campus, and supposedly it was originally built as a mental health hospital, something like that. Well, great.
Yeah, that explains it.
Thanks for throwing in mental health hospital, because that's not what it was originally called.
Yeah.
Yes. No, we will not say what it was originally called because it is not nice. And the rooms that still had the original doors had various slots in them, from areas for name tags to the place where someone used to be able to open a shutter to look into the room. They had the original doors?
The sliding things.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
No wonder they were so haunted. Oofta.
Yeah.
Morton and Campbell are notorious and connected both above ground and through the basement. Oh my God. Just when you think this couldn't get creepier, it just keeps getting creepier. The laundry area was in the basement, and as I was walking up the stairs once, my friend with me started shoving me from behind and screaming for me to hurry. Oof. It turned out that she had seen a kind of white mist charge her and continue to follow her as we were climbing the stairs. Oh my God.
That'll make you run fast.
That'll make you hurry, for sure. If a person is sensitive at all, the basement is a hard place to be. It would feel like somebody was dogging your heels, and often felt like you walked into a room filled with people and they all stopped and stared. Oh God, I just got goosebumps.
Yeah, that's creepy.
Oh, because you can just picture it like it's a room, it's very loud and chatty, and then you walk in and everyone stops to turn at you.
My vision went to the scene in The Shining when they're in the hotel, and everybody's in the ballroom or restaurant or whatever that's there, and just like everybody just
stops.
You walk in and everyone stops.
Yep. Ooh, I got goosebumps from that. I have more stories from Flagstaff, but next time I'll send you the info from the years I worked at Crystal Magic, which is the store that first called the Dead Files to Flagstaff.
Cool.
What?
All right.
I know. That would be super fun, huh?
This is, and again, love. She didn't put love. I'm putting love. Alicia, the Scarlet and Grey Witch.
Cool.
Oh, that was a good one. That gave me goosebumps. Like,
that was good.
Ooh,
Thanks for sending that in.
Yes, thank you so much. That was a good one.
Yeah.
That was awesome. But yeah, that reminded me of my Lutzen experience a year and a half ago or so.
I remember you were texting about that.
You want to tell it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
tell it.
can.
Okay, go ahead.
So I went up to the Lutsen Resort in Lutsen, Minnesota in May of 2022 for a friend's wedding. And it was awesome, did a lot of hiking, whatnot, but I was staying by myself. And I had brought my Roku up so that I could plug it into the TV and whatever. And, you know, like people set the alarm, like the reminder on their TV or an alarm on their TV so that it turns off when, you know, like 30 minutes, 60 minutes, whatever. Maybe this is a thing, but I've never seen one where it turns on at a certain time.
Mm-hmm. I
And
haven't either.
I was in a room that had 2 queen beds, and the remote was on the other bed with a bunch of my stuff and whatever. And it was before 7 in the morning, but it was like 6:37 or something like that. And all of a sudden the TV comes on full blast, and it wasn't even on like the startup channel, because they're always on a startup channel.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then,
like
you know,
the
go to your
hotel
menu or
channel.
whatever.
Yes.
I don't even remember what the channel was that it was on, but it was like full blast. I sat bolt upright, like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
I was like, I looked around my spot. I was like, did I lay on the remote? Like,
Mhm.
did I accidentally turn it on? Couldn't figure it out, turned it off. Didn't have anything else happen with it. So it was just that Friday morning that it happened. Didn't have it Saturday. Didn't have it Sunday. It was Saturday morning. Didn't happen Friday morning. So I was up there for a couple of nights.
Did you have the dogs with you? Was it the
Nope.
dogs, Amy?
No, there was no dogs. I
No,
was
Steve. It
just
was not
by
the dogs.
myself. But Sunday morning, I woke up because I heard someone go right in like my ear. My window was open, and I always put a towel under the doorway of any hotel room I stay in. I just always put it there because one, it keeps the sound out. There's always light that comes in underneath. Whatever. So it's like I've heard people talk in the hallway. It did not sound like a hallway voice.
Right.
I look outside. No one's, again, it's before 7 a.m. No one's out at their car. Nothing. So I'm just like, hey, hi, whoever you are, can I go back to sleep now? Because, like, can you leave me alone for a little bit? And to this day, I cannot find a T-shirt that I lost there.
I remember that. Yep.
Yeah.
You looked through your whole luggage.
I
You
took
looked through
everything apart. Like, I found how much they did not clean that room very well. Like, I found every aspect. I looked behind every part of the mattresses, the beds. Like, the beds, they could only go so far underneath. I took all the stuff off of the other bed. Now, this is a shirt that it was my pajama shirt, but I didn't have it the last night that I was there because I couldn't find it. But I had been wearing it as I got ready because it had a bigger neck on it. So I was wearing it as I got ready for the wedding. And I tossed it on the other bed where I had all my other crap sitting. I looked in the fridge. I looked in the bathroom. I looked in the closet that I hadn't even like gone into. I looked everywhere. Never found it.
Yeah.
It wasn't in my stuff when I came home.
I remember that. Because I was like brainstorming with you, like places you could look. I'm like, well, could it have gone here? Could it? And you're like, nope, I looked there. I looked there.
I looked.
You looked through
everywhere.
your car. You tore your car apart.
Yep.
Yeah.
My first thought was that it, like when you threw it on the bed, then the maids came and grabbed all the sheets and it got in there with it.
I don't let anybody ever come in my room.
Clean. Yeah.
No, I don't let anybody come in my room when I'm in a hotel. So I always leave the sign up that says like, please do not disturb.
Yeah.
Because I just don't want anybody in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do that too, unless I'm staying for a really long time. But usually I don't do that either.
And then I would have cleaned up my stuff and put stuff away and not been such a slob. But but yeah, I looked. I mean, crazy. I pulled the covers back on a bed that I didn't even pull the covers back on at all. I looked behind all the pillows. It had been on top of some stuff, and then it's gone.
That's bizarre.
And of all things, if someone came in and took that with my purse was in there, because the reception and everything, it was a gorgeous place. Like, it was really cool and it was really neat. It was historic flooding happening. That's when the covered bridges at Lutsen Resort got damaged. I mean, it was amazing, but there was a lot of, there's a lot of energy in those rivers and everything going on, but I have no idea what happened.
That's bizarre. All right. Well, with that, AP, are you ready to tell Raven's story? Raven is a follower on Instagram, and she sent me this via DM. So let me just transition here.
And I have not heard this one either. So.
All right. Ooh.
Nice. That is the best.
All right. From Raven. My name is Raven. I'm 39 years old from Alabama, and I've got some interesting stories. From the ghost of a man in a Civil War hat standing over me as a child to having something eaten in my house.
Coming in hot, Raven. Coming in
Yeah.
hot.
I've decided to tell you that one. So the one about something evil in the house. I do want to hear the Civil War one because I love history and that
I
kind of
do
stuff too. So would love
Next
to hear
time,
that.
Raven. Send it
Hey,
again.
Pete, did you ever read books by Sherry Priest? They're about Civil War ghosts.
Oh.
They're really, really good. A friend of mine that grew up in the South had turned me on to those books. They were really good.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of, my dad literally last night he's like, hey, want to go back out to Gettysburg and we can go sit out at the wheat fields right at dusk? Because that's when those are the areas where it's pretty haunted. And
yeah,
Gettysburg.
Yeah.
Like, yes, of course I do.
Amy was like, I'm packing my bags now. When do we go?
Yeah.
I did a research project on that when I was in, elementary or middle school or something. But so I love it. I think it's really interesting.
It is.
Mhm.
Fascinating.
Okay, back to Raven's story. October of 2014, my husband had just passed away after only 1 year of marriage.
I'm so sorry.
And I was lying awake trying to sleep. I was watching a movie on the couch, tried to relax, and I heard nails coming down the hall behind me. Okay, now I'm like, they're like nails on the floor, nails on the wall, but nonetheless, it sounds creepy. At this time, I didn't think much of it. I had an 80-pound German Shepherd, and she made noise. Okay, that's what I was thinking.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a dog.
Maybe.
So where's Steve? Where's Steve?
Then in
We
the
got
next
one.
moment, I was being pushed down on the couch and heard growling in my ear. Needless
Oh my
to say, I
God.
was scared. I was able to say a prayer and it left. 2 weeks later, the disconnected alarm set itself off. This was not as scary as the growl, but at that point, I was too tired to deal with anything else. I let out a cry that this is my house and never had a problem again.
Nice.
Hope you all enjoy this quick tale, Raven.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's creepy.
That's terrifying.
Yeah,
I wonder if it was something trying to
Especially-
impersonate her dog.
that's
with
what
the
it feels
growling and
like.
the-
Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Toenails.
the nails. Which
Oofsha.
did Gracie just come in behind you?
I saw the white tail. Yeah.
Yep.
I think it was Gracie.
Right here. She probably did.
Yeah, I saw the white tail.
Hi,
Gracie.
Hi, Grace.
Also, what kind of light is going on? It looks very psychedelic in your room. Like you look like you're in the ocean.
I know. I love it. It's my.
Is
one
that
of
your
my,
new Temu light?
my Temu haul? Yeah, I spent
love
a
it.
whole $24 and I got a whole bag size of a roast turkey full of shit.
Yeah,
one
I
of
love
them's
it.
that light.
It's so fun.
So this, I don't know if I'll be able to get it over there. This is what it looks like.
Oh,
and then,
yeah.
And then it comes in all different colors. I mean,
Yes.
you can make it different colors.
Yeah.
I just like this one the best.
It's very cool, like calming.
Is it?
Yeah.
It reminds me of stained glass on your wall.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a scary story though. The thing that gets me the most is like the alarm clock because it's not plugged in. So like, or the alarm. There's no
Yeah.
like way for it to glitch or come, like that's terrifying.
Well,
I don't like it.
where's your 80-pound German Shepherd
Yeah.
during all this?
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder.
I
Interesting.
mean, yeah, that's a good question. So
Yeah.
Raven, send us the other story, please. Thank you.
Yes, we
Oh,
want
yeah.
the Civil
Yep.
War story as well, Raven. Thank you so
Yes.
much though, for sending this one.
Yes,
Yes, thank you.
definitely.
That was
Thank
a
you,
good one.
Raven.
A short one, but a good one.
Yep. All right. And then the next story we have is the last of the group of stories that Heather, patron, sent us.
Mhm.
We read 3 of them last week, and we've got one more today.
Don't forget the
So-
transition. There it
Simple pleasures.
is. It is. It's the little things that get us.
It is. So this is Heather's story.
And Heather's the one who was in the Villisca Axe murder
Yes.
house, correct?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. So she says this situation occurred in the winter following my maternal grandfather's passing.
Mm.
My mom was driving into work at about 11:30 p.m. at night. It was horrible road conditions that night with a very icy highway to take into Des Moines. Mom's was the only vehicle on the road. She hit an icy patch, and her car spun around 360 and ended up facing the opposite direction that she had been going and on the opposite side of the road.
Oh, that's scary.
That is scary. Not paranormal, but that's scary.
That's that's scary on its own.
Yeah. Of course, she was scared and freaked out because of what happened, so she just sat there for a few minutes collecting herself. All of a sudden, a bright light came upon her window and someone was knocking on it.
Oh my God.
She freaked the hell out and drove off towards work and then looked back in the rearview mirror and no one was there.
Oh my God.
To this day, she's convinced no living person was there as the road was completely empty and that it was her father's ghost warning her to slow the hell down.
Oh, I bet it was. Like, listen, Linda, I've told you to slow down on this road.
Work is not that important.
Yeah.
Actually, she was driving home. No, she was driving into work.
No, she was driving to work. Yeah.
She was driving to work. They can wait.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm glad she's okay.
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
And Heather says, I haven't had any paranormal anything happen since these times. This and the last stories that we heard last week. But I definitely get feelings and vibes sometimes, and I listen to them.
Yes.
Love the podcast, and I really enjoy listening to you ladies.
We love you.
Thanks, Heather.
Thank you so much, Heather, for sending that in. That's a good one.
That was fun.
Especially the part that where she looked back and nobody was there. That's the... Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Because my first thought after hearing Mary's story last week was that it was alien related.
Yeah.
And that she I wonder if she lost any time. I think Heather would have mentioned that if she had.
She would have mentioned that, I think, yeah.
But it's possible, I suppose, if she could
Speaking of Mary, oh my God, we had a delightful happy hour with Mary. Oh my God, she's the best.
UFO Mary.
UFO Mary.
We all met
she
at
came
my
on
house.
and shared her story. I think it came out this past week. And we had so much fun. We had appetizers, we had drinks, oh my God, it was just so much fun.
We had a good time, yeah. Mary's hilarious.
She was delightful.
Yeah, she's funny.
Yes.
So. And she's the one that hooked us up with the guest we're having next week.
Yes.
She just, in passing, is like, I know somebody who's...
I know this.
Blah, blah,
and I about fell off my... Yeah. And then she just kept telling her story. And I'm like, in corporate speak, let's circle back. Because we need to talk about this.
That's right.
Yeah, she was just like, dropped it like, today's temperature is 85, and I know this person, and I'm having steak for dinner.
Yeah. Except Mary's
so nonchalantly. Yeah, well, I know she is, but...
Zoe's coming. Oh, here. You're going to transition.
Okay.
Welcome, Zoe.
Oh, nice.
Hey, Zoe.
Hey. Can you all hear me?
Look at you with that fancy microphone.
It's not my microphone.
Well, we didn't know that.
It's fine. Yeah, it's Daryl's microphone because he's the musician, so he uses it for all of his recordings and stuff.
Oh, fun.
Well, thank him for us for letting you use it.
The girls say thank you for letting me use your stuff.
What kind of instrument does he play?
I see a guitar back there.
I see
guitar. Guitar, electric guitar, and quite a few other instruments, but he's also a vocalist as well.
Oh, cool.
Oh.
Awesome.
You should play him some clips where I sing. We could collab on something.
Yeah, there you go.
Just kidding. I'm totally
kidding.
Send
them over.
We need to do an album of greatest hits of The Activity Continues.
Yeah.
I do a really good job drumming on my steering wheel when I'm driving.
Yeah.
Same.
I can do that too.
Yep.
Same.
I get secondhand passenger road rage. That's quite fun.
I do a lot of fish shaking.
I wag a finger or two at him. Mostly one specific finger.
Or the thank you. Would it kill you to say thank you? Like, do the wave when you let somebody in, and then you're just like, really? You can't. You can't wave here.
Yeah, I let you in, but no, please go ahead.
A small child in the back.
Oh yeah, I see you.
Hi, small child.
Is that Randall?
Say hi. No, that's Grace.
Grace.
She's blurry for us right now. I'm sure it'll be fine in the final edit because it's re-recorded on your system. But what we're seeing right now is kind of blurry, so it's hard to tell what's going on back there. Could have been a ghost for all I know. Okay, so Zoe, you have hey,
Ghost
she's,
of a 4-year-old.
she's back.
Ghost of a 4-year-old.
So you have a couple stories for us, right?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, well, take it away.
The first one I'm going to talk about is basically what happened to my son when he was 5 years old at school.
Okay.
So Randall has a few abilities like mine. He can see and he can talk to spirits and stuff. For the first sort of 2 weeks that he was at school, he kept saying to me that he was seeing a little boy in the playground, but he never saw the little boy in the classroom.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay, that's a bit weird because I've not picked up on anything. And he goes, oh, it's okay, Mummy. I know where he stands and I know where he is and I know his name. I was like, okay, fair dues. And I was like, take me to the spot where he basically stands and you talk to him. Now, is it in his schoolyard? They've got like a gazebo, like a wooden gazebo where they have all of the benches underneath. The little boy stands there under the gazebo when all of the other kids are playing out. Now, none of the other kids have noticed this child. And I was like, okay, well, this is weird. If you're saying nobody's noticed it, I'll have to tune into my abilities and see what I pick up. It's really sad, this. So I was tuning into my abilities while sat under the gazebo, and the little boy popped through, said what his name was. His name was Ali, and he was 5 years old. And basically, all he remembers is playing with his friends in the playground, and then suddenly he wasn't in pain anymore because, like, he had some pain in his chest. So I was like, okay, this is weird. I'm gonna have to go, confirm it with the school and see if anybody's actually died on the property. Turns out it was true. A year before Randall had joined the school, a little boy called Ali had fallen down in the playground due to an asthma attack and never regained consciousness.
Oh my God.
And it was really sad. They showed me a picture of him, and the office staff, Leanne, she was absolutely lovely, was Leanne. She's on maternity leave at the moment. She goes to me, oh, have you seen him about, Zoe? I was like, yeah. And so was Randall. And he's still in the playground. Like, Randall will see him every so often, like running through the gazebo area and round towards like the trim trail, because their trim trail's like a little wooden sort of climbing frame.
Okay.
And but yeah, like, it was really sad to learn that a kid passed away just before Randall had started.
That's awful.
The other story from his school as well is that I and him had been both seeing an older lady go towards the office doors every morning when we were going in. So I basically asked around and nobody knew who she was. They just thought she was just like a local resident who had dementia who was just, walking. Turns out it wasn't. The lady's name was Wendy, and she was actually one of the teachers that had been working there for over 40 years who passed away.
Oh my God.
And her daily activity was walking from the school gate to the office and putting like any little bits of trash and that lot into the actual bin, and that's the replay of what me and Randall were seeing.
Yeah.
They've got a memorial tree for her now, which is lovely, because we all rallied together as parents and teachers to get a tree for her and a little, little memorial plaque.
Oh, that's nice.
But yeah, like, they were the two spirit incidents that happened with Randall and me.
Wow.
So,
I wonder if that was residual energy from her just doing that so many times for 40 years.
Yeah, it will have been.
Yeah.
But apparently she was a lovely person as well. Just everybody loved her, and she was just such a part of the community. And because obviously I live away from the community now, I'm only like a part-time community person, but I still do a lot for the area.
Yeah.
But it doesn't help the school. very well that there's a graveyard literally 4 doors away from it.
my
Nope,
gosh.
that wouldn't.
Yeah.
That wouldn't help.
Nope, it does not help at
No,
all.
that would not.
So they get all sorts of passing through
Mm-hmm.
and people like just walking in and out again.
Oh my
Wow.
goodness. Yeah, that wouldn't
But
help.
yeah, that was crazy.
Wow.
That's good.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, it's cool. I do have like 2 stories that go into one that's about one singular place.
Okay.
Ooh, yeah.
So I wrote it down on my notes because this place is down in, I think it's Surrey. I think it is. So it's like 73 miles away from where I am.
Yeah.
It's
Thank
called
you for
Cadillac
saying
Chase.
miles.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Thank you for that, because if you would have said kilometers, it could have been here to Germany. I would have had no idea. So
No, we don't do kilometers over here. We do
Does it?
miles.
Oh, you do?
really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
That's,
I was gonna say, I know in Scotland
we do miles.
it goes by miles because I
Oh,
drove
thank God.
in Scotland.
Oh, yeah.
Thank God,
Mhm.
because yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So, basically, this is called the Werewolf of Cadillac Chase.
Ooh.
It's one of their, I won't say myths because there's been lots of sightings, and this place that I'm talking about is literally a hotbed for paranormal activity. There has been numerous sightings of werewolves, numerous sightings of other cryptid animals. There's been numerous sightings of UFOs. Their war memorial area in the town itself is that haunted. It has a sign up in front of it that you cannot go in there past a certain hour because you'll be physically harmed.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
By the spirits. Yeah.
Wow.
So it's
Don't
crazy.
have to tell me twice.
Yeah.
But I will get on with the 2 sections of the story. So for the last 30 years, a small town of Cadillac Chase in the English Midlands has been besieged by paranormal activity. The strange sightings and the claimings of the area range from black-eyed children to ghosts to UFOs and even a half-man, half-pig called Pigman.
Oh.
This is supposedly the result of genetic experiments gone wrong. True or not, this may have to do with the nearby Staffordshire country, well known for breeding Tamworth pigs. However, werewolves are something very more specific and real to the community of Cadillac Chase, England. Most stems from the local urban legends that started in 1975 when a 17-year-old boy asked the devil via Ouija board
Oh,
for
boy.
the power to transform into a werewolf. I know.
I don't like any part of that
Supposedly-
sentence.
Supposedly, upon communicating the request through the Ouija board, he immediately received a phone call. When he picked it up, he could only hear animal-like grunting and growls over the line. Soon after, a very young man was found dead, having killed himself with a silver knife. Also, in 1975, a research group in the area was supposedly witnessed a werewolf crouching and growling before retreating into some bushes. In the decades since, there have actually been a number of credible sightings of an upright, bipedal, canine-like creature stalking the woods and the cemeteries of Cadillac Chase. In 2007, a mailman reported to a UFO group that during his regular daytime mail route, he saw what at first was to be a dog reared up on its hind legs, then an animal ran on 2 legs into the nearby woods. There have been allegedly over 20 sightings since the mid-70s. In 2016, a paranormal researcher named Damon Sims told a local newspaper, the Sentinel, that they may have been credible people who have been claimed to have seen the werewolf, including rangers, an ex-police officer, and a good friend of mine who's a civil surveyor. Also in 2007, the West Midlands Ghost Club received a report from a scout leader that was walking in the woods when he noticed what he also believed was a big dog lurking behind some trees. After getting into his car, the creature reared up on its back legs and ran into the trees. It must have been 6 to 7 feet tall, according to the report.
Jeez.
Notably, a number of other sightings have occurred in... I know. Notably, a number of other sightings occurred in Cadillac Chase's German military cemetery, a historic landmark in the area where German and Austrian soldiers were buried after both World Wars. That's the area that's like super haunted and you can't go in after a certain time.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
I have the rest of the page to go on as well now.
Okay.
So it says not a new phenomenon. To understand this creature, we must travel back through time to the year 1727 when a young boy was unfortunately murdered in a small village outside of Staffordshire, England. His body revealed the evidence of an attack by a creature with huge fangs and claws that tore out his throat and chest whilst he was still living.
Oh,
This was not the only attack. I know. This was not the only attack reported from this location. There were others before it and more to come after it too. During the 18th century, a shepherd named Thomas Bateman was returning home late one night when he claimed to have seen 2 werewolves fighting near Cadillac Chase in the Midlands of England. He described them as hairy and black as coal, with the extended claws and dreadful teeth. Bateman said that one of the creatures killed the other before fleeing into the darkness. 100 years later, another sighting took place, but this time it involved 2 people who saw their friend attacked by what looked like a wolf, but turned into a man before their eyes.
Oh my God.
More sightings followed throughout history. The werewolf of Cadillac Chase is a cryptid that has been said to have been sighted in the area for many years. The creature is described as being roughly 7 feet tall and having a human-like face and hands instead of paws.
Ooh.
This phenomenon has been reported by so many people over the last decade, with some saying they saw it while driving along the road at night. However, there are no photos or evidence available as proof as to whether or not the creature exists. Up until recently, where there was a video taken in the woods, and there's a place in the woods in Cadillac Chase called Werewolf Drop.
Ooh.
Now, there is evidence. It's not brilliant evidence, but you can see the creature on the video.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And it literally rears up, then lowers back down, and then drops down the side of where it was.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like it hasn't had it. It's not like there's no evidence.
Yeah,
There is
yeah.
evidence. We just don't know what the heck that creature was at all.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
But it was tall.
That's
and I mean,
terrifying.
like proper tall.
Yeah.
Okay, let me get back to where it was. Okay. In a recent report, a Cadillac resident argued that they'd witnessed a creature with a head of a wolf and the body of a man walking through their garden during the month of July. Another sighting was made by 2 men that saw something they described as bigger than a bear while they were
That's big.
driving on the Cadillac Chase roads at night. The beast was said to be covered in fur and had red eyes. Perhaps most noticeably, another witness came forward with what they believed was photographic evidence, an image captured on the camera after spotting something moving through the woods during daylight hours. It's actually a video, not photo, so it was a bit wrong there. There were many strange things happening at the Castle Ring in the mid-1800s. The most famous of these is the account of the mysterious and terrified presence that haunts the castle's dining halls, where it's said to materialise and then disappear without warning or explanation. So this is getting on to basically in Cadillac, where it is, there's like this little sort of, I wouldn't say castle, but it is like, it's like a manor home type thing, but it is huge. They have a lot of activity in there. So there's a little bit about that.
Okay.
So it says the mystery of the Castle Ring. A popular site for the paranormal activity, the Castle Ring is a large circular earthwork in Cadillac Chase. It's thought to have been constructed around 600 BC, although there is no archaeological evidence to prove this. Yeah, it's well old.
That's so old.
There's no there's no archaeological evidence to prove this. It was first recorded by William Camden in 1607 and has become popular with paranormal enthusiasts due to its supposed connection with the werewolf sightings. Every so often, somebody will see the werewolf up near the castle. Cannock Chase Post, the local newspaper, actually ran a story in where it suggested that the werewolf sightings could actually be an underground Stone Age throwback. And the theory goes that the creature could have lived and flourished for centuries in the old mines and caves under the Cannock Chase Hills. It's possible that they only emerge at night when they come to the surface to hunt for local deer amongst the Stone Age barrows and earthworks. It's definitely true that there have been many cases of domestic pet disappearances in the area, particularly near to the old German war cemetery.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of the tunnels and earthwork areas are near to where the German cemetery is.
Okay.
I went into I looked into a lot of the blueprints of the town and stuff like that because I was really interested in the stories and stuff.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So yeah, I basically heard of the Cannock Chase werewolf firstly on another paranormal podcast, and it's the Haunted UK one.
Oh,
yeah.
He did his own. He was doing his own Cannock Chase version of the stories as well, but I wanted the more sort of, informational ones where, people have had the sightings and stuff, because he did a story of, I think it was a young kid on a bicycle had basically gone on this rail track area and the werewolf meant to have come up and sniffed the bike. He drops the bike and runs like heck, obviously, because you would do.
Right.
And,
not gonna
he
stick
never
around.
went back to that area. He left the bike. He said he would never never ride a bike ever again. And he never did, I'm guessing.
That bike anyway.
Not that one.
Who would?
Yeah.
Who would?
Yes.
Right.
If a werewolf came at me whilst riding something, I'd just be like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Here, you may
Thanks,
have my
but
bike.
no.
It's your bike now, Mr. Werewolf.
Yeah, just take it. Take the bike. Take
I'm
the bike,
fine.
please.
Just, you know what? I wanted to walk. It's
I'm
a
gonna
nice
walk.
day.
It's better for me.
Yeah.
I need my steps.
Yeah. I need my steps. Yeah. Get the heart rate pumping. You just take it. Brand new, 20 speed, 21 speeds.
I mean, you would get activity counted on your watch with your bike too. They just convert to steps.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna
logical brain.
Yeah.
Going.
But yeah, that area particularly is a big thing for me, because later on this year, me and my friend are actually hoping to get down there. So I can take my own hunting equipment and stuff like that down there. So hopefully I'm able to get some sort of evidence down there. But I am definitely not going in the German cemetery because no thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
pass.
is the German
I will not touch the gates of that place.
Is the German cemetery from like World War II era, or is it older than that?
It's from the World War II era. It's
Okay.
I think it's German and something else as well. It's not just the Germans. I've forgotten where
What about Italians or
Austrians? I don't know.
That's it, Austrians, yes. Austrians
Ding,
and
ding,
the
ding.
Germans.
Good job,
So
Megan.
basically,
Thank you.
when I'm guessing when the soldiers were over and stuff like that, there was a lot of deaths, and there was enough deaths to make their own cemetery, but it must have been that many that there were probably horrendous.
Wonder if
ways
there's
it
any that
happened.
are if there's so much like turmoil within that location, if there's just some that are marked in the wrong graves, or people buried who were not in the German party. Obviously, not all the German soldiers believed in what they were fighting for. They were just, that's what you did.
Into it,
Yeah.
a lot
Yep.
of them.
Yeah.
And, or, in World War I, most soldiers didn't know what exactly they were fighting
Right.
for. But yeah, World War II. But I wonder if there's just, if there's something with that, or like we've seen with some of the Dead Files episodes where Amy had talked about like a soul kind of collecting other souls as they came in.
Right. Yep.
So if you have
Yeah.
one person who's one soul that was doing that and doesn't allow others to rest.
Mm-hmm. That could be too, yeah.
Those are all my speculations.
Yeah.
It could also be as well, like over here, we have similar to what you guys have over there, you know, which is skinwalkers and Wendigos. We have similar over here. We just call them something different out of respect, because obviously in one of my past lives I was a Native American, and I have done the past life regression thing. I was a Hopi Native American. So I call them SWs out of complete respect, and not that I want to drag that energy, you know, anywhere near me. But we do have those sorts of creatures over here that we have one over here that it is actually a spiritual entity called the Soul Catcher.
Ooh,
and it literally gathers. It is. It's basically a soul gatherer. It'll just take spirits from wherever it manifests into, and it'll take them out of the area and bring them to a whole new area. So there is a lot of turmoil and a lot of upset, and I don't know, maybe the situation is something like that in the German war cemetery.
Yeah, maybe.
I have no idea. I'm super excited because I told my mate about it, and she loves ghost hunting. Like, she absolutely loves it. Like, where she lives in our town is like, we have an old fever place, a fever hospital. So where they had like the tuberculosis patients and people who got scarlet fever and stuff like that. We have one of those, but it's not the building anymore. It's just a field. Me and her went up to it because she was like, "Oh, let's go up to the waterworks in the old fever hospital." And I'm just like, how much long of a walk is this? Because, you know, like, I'm a lazy person and I don't actually want to walk this far. And she was like, "Look,
same.
I'll take a flask of coffee. And we'll all be good. It's fine. Just remember, have your ghost app on your phone." So we went up there, and I took my big camera up with me as well, because I wanted to take some photographs of the area. I've still got those photos on my big camera as well. So when we got up there, I'd turned my ghost hunting app on and left it to, you know, like play in the background sort of thing whilst I took photos. She's holding my phone, and she's like, "Zoe, it's saying all these really random words, like it's saying sweaty, hot, please help.
Really?
Get that camera away from me." And I'm like, okay then. But I took so the gates are still there of the fever hospital, and it literally says the hospital's name on it.
Yeah.
And I goes to take a photo of it, and there's a horse in the field. So I'm like, "Oh, I'll capture the horse in the field whilst I'm getting the gates as well." Oh, that photo doesn't turn out. There's just a white sheen all over the top of it. Yeah, I've still got it on my camera.
That's weird.
Maybe it was a ghost horse.
Maybe. We don't know. No, I'm pretty sure the horse was real.
Oh, okay.
But we thought that was weird, so I ended up trying to take a photo of my friend. Same thing happened again. White sheen over the front of the camera. I was like, "Oh, maybe it's a malfunction. Turn it off, turn it back on again. Give it a little smack on side.
Sure.
It'll work fine." That's the British thing to do.
Right.
And
here too.
Same.
Turns it back
Yeah,
on.
turn it off, turn it back on.
Turns it.
Slap it a bit.
Yeah, turns it back on. Turns back to the fever hospital gate. Sets the camera up. Takes photo. Checks the photo afterwards. Boom, white sheen over the top again. But there's no horse in the picture because the horse has moved.
That's bizarre.
Yeah.
That is weird.
So I have like 3 photos with the white sheen over the top of it. So we moved from that area because the ghost app stops working. Like, they just stopped talking to us. And so we walked down to the waterworks. Now, the waterworks is an abandoned building, basically, that used to house all of the water for the area that my friend lives in. It's been empty now for about 60 years, close? 63 years it's been abandoned now.
Well,
We go in there, I sets the ghost app up. As soon as we step into the doors, the ghost app literally goes, hello, what do you want?
oh my God.
And I'm like, okay, maybe we're actually going to get some really good evidence here. So start snapping photos and stuff like that. Thinks nothing of it, doesn't bother to check the photos. Camera battery drains instantly.
Yeah.
Just instantly
Wow.
drains.
Yeah.
So I set up, I've got more batteries in my bag, put more in, turns my camera back on, starts taking more photos. I get a really good picture of my friend stood over like 2 planks of wood. Like one leg's on either side.
Oh,
Never.
yeah.
At the
Oh,
top
that
of
sounds
her
cool.
head is just a massive orb of light.
Really?
And it's blue in colour. Yeah, it's blue in colour.
Whatever.
So I'm like, okay then. So this is slightly odd now. Turn the camera off, turn it back on again, drain the battery.
Wow.
And I'm like, well, I don't have that many batteries
Uh-huh.
left.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do, like, we want to continue the investigation. She goes, oh, Zoe, your phone's not working. I'm like, what do you mean my phone's not working? My phone's fully charged. She's like, oh, no, your phone's got 5%. It's not working.
Oh.
I'm like, but it had more than enough charge on it for us to be able to get back to yours.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, oh, come on, we'll go and well walk through the cemetery
Of course.
on the way back to mine.
Why
I'm
not?
like, yeah, because this is the logical thing to
Right.
do, isn't it?
I was
Always.
actually going to
She's
ask.
like, don't worry, now will happen. And we're walking through the cemetery and we're looking at grave names and like dates and stuff like that because I like looking at them.
I did too.
Walks towards the gated area to walk out of the graveyard, looks to my right and there's a grave that literally says my partner's last name on it, which is Sutcliffe. And I'm like, well, I'm going to have to ring up Daryl once I've charged my phone up and ask
Right.
if this person's part of his family.
Yeah.
He asks his sister because he didn't know, but his sister come back and it literally was one of their great aunties that had been buried in that cemetery.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Good.
Wow.
And I was like, wow, can't believe how close I was
Yeah.
to her grave. I nearly stood on the
Uh-huh.
grave.
Yeah.
That's how close I was. Because at first I didn't, like notice the headstone at
Uh-huh.
all. And it was just, one of those ones that weren't very big. It was sort of
Yeah,
small
yeah.
Uh-huh.
compared to some of the headstones that were there. But yeah, that was weird. But my friend who I was with, she lives in an old schoolhouse.
Mhm.
Like a really old Victorian schoolhouse.
Cool.
In her house, I've told her several times because she asks me to cleanse her house constantly.
Yeah.
She's got a headmaster. She's got a headmaster in the school
Oh.
Oh, no.
house, and he's just residual energy. He's not
Okay.
bad. He just comes in every so often and walks through how we would, usually walk through the halls and stuff. But her house is absolutely gorgeous.
I bet.
When I'm up at hers next, which will probably be later on this week,
Mm-hmm.
I'll take a photo of the front of her front door because she's got like a plaque and it says what year the school was
Oh,
Oh,
cool.
cool.
part of. And do you mind, kid? Go away.
Grace is just excited she can see herself on,
Yeah.
like,
I was
computer.
like, no, this is when Zoe says, I don't have any children. I don't know what
Yeah.
that was.
I'm alone in this room.
Yeah,
No, I have
I know.
children. What? Yes, I have children in the house. Yes, you are one of them.
You want one of them.
You are one of them. That's funny.
Okay. She always loves interrupting anything, especially when I'm on like video chat and stuff like that. She's
Mhm.
always jumping on and wanting to be involved
Yeah.
in it.
My husband's the same way, except
Oh,
it's when
wait.
I'm on the phone. He won't talk to me for an hour and a half, and then I get on the phone and suddenly he wants to tell me his life story.
That's like my
Feel
dog.
you on that one.
I was going to say, my dogs are similar that way.
Husbands, dogs, and toddlers.
Yep.
They're basically
Basically the
thing.
same thing. That's right.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining
Yeah.
us, Zoe. Those were
Yes,
good
thanks,
Yeah,
Zoe.
stories.
thank
Those
you.
are good
Oh, you're more
stories.
than welcome. Yeah.
We'll have to have you on after
Yeah.
you've done your
Um,
investigation. I want to hear about that.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, I
100%.
will definitely be updating you guys as
Please
soon
do.
as I've
Good.
had the investigation and stuff. I know Daryl's got a couple of paranormal stories that he's been through as well.
Oh, okay.
But that's for the next listener story.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll do another
Okay.
one for sure.
I do.
Yeah.
Because he's got some quite extreme ones.
good.
Because he grew up
Good.
in a very active area.
Oh, good.
There's a lot in his house.
I mean, probably not for him, but
Some
good
of
for
it-
us.
Oh no, yeah, good for you guys because it'll probably get a lot of people.
Good.
Perfect.
But yeah, it wasn't good for him.
Yeah.
No.
Like partly growing up because
Yeah.
he decided to be a selective mute because of what was going
Oh,
on
wow.
in his
Bless him.
house. But he is autistic, so it kind of did go with his
Sure.
autism traits.
Sure.
So he's still quite selectively mute now. He only speaks when he wants to and stuff.
Yeah.
It can get boring. I'm the chatty one in the relationship.
Well, you've got to
I
have
like
both.
that.
If you're
Yeah,
both
you gotta
chatty or
balance.
you're both quiet, it
Thankful.
wouldn't work as well.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
All about balance.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks, Zoe,
Well,
for
thanks
joining us,
again.
and we'll
Good.
be in touch
Oh, more than welcome.
for the next
And it's
time.
always good
Yeah.
to see you.
Yeah.
Awesome. I can't actually wait to hear my story being told.
Oh, yeah. That's that's one that comes out on Thursday. We recorded it last
Yep.
week, but it'll be out on Thursday. And then you'll get to hear our
Good.
friend Mary's story
Good
too.
because I can't wait because...
Yep.
Ooh,
Yeah.
nice.
She's
Yeah.
a good one. She's good. You both have
Oh,
really good
yeah.
stories.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Okay.
I've got loads more where that comes
Oh,
from.
good. Good.
Perfect.
Well, we'll always reach out to you then when we need content.
Yep. All right. Thanks,
So,
Zoe.
yeah, I'm more than happy to help.
Good.
Perfect.
Okay, thank you, girls.
Thanks. Bye.
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 That was fun.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, I love how she talks.
I know.
could
I love
listen
her
to
accent.
Years. I love it. I
do
could listen
too.
to her all day.
I know. I do too. I love it.
Well, I found there is a ghost walk in Bayfield where I'm going on Thursday.
Fun.
See if I can get anybody
See,
to do it with me on Friday.
Ghost walks make me nervous because I want to do them, but I'm also scared about something attaching to me
Yeah.
and coming home. That's my only hesitation about it.
Yeah, that can be scary. I love doing them. I've never had anything attached to me, but at least
Okay.
if I did, I didn't notice it. But
We should plan one. I know Amy, you've sent us a few different options.
Anoka, we're doing Anoka for sure.
yeah, we should definitely
When
do
is
that.
it?
You can do them you can have them anytime. I think they do more in October, but I am pretty sure we did ours in September when we did them. But
Okay.
if we just look at Anoka County Historical
Yeah.
Society, because if anything, it just gives some money to the Historical Society. And then I think there's one in Stillwater, and then I think there's
Yeah, I was just gonna say Stillwater because I know they have a super haunted hotel.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. We really appreciate it. And next week, we will be talking to a very special guest that we are all extremely excited about. We're not going to say who it is. It's not Amy Allen, unfortunately. But stay tuned next week for a very, very special guest star on our show.
That's right. We're pretty excited about it.
Oh my God, I told everybody I worked with as soon as you sent that message.
I know. I told some friends too. So
Yeah.
people that know us in real life know what it is. And we'll probably say something before it actually happens. Like
Mhm.
I'll do some stuff on social media, and I'll certainly tell the patrons but ahead of time.
Mhm.
But I want to keep it under wraps a little bit more. It is time for an Alanism.
It's time for an Alanism.
All right. So since we haven't done one of these in a while, I want to explain.
Yeah.
If you're new here or if you just haven't heard us for a while, here's a reminder. My dad, Alan, passed away in 2019. He was an old radio, TV broadcaster type guy. He was an actor. Loved the spotlight.
Hilarious.
What?
He was hilarious.
He was hilarious. And as he aged and his mind faltered a bit, he started saying some really odd but hilarious things. And luckily, my stepmom wrote them all down. So we end each episode with one of his weird sayings. And just to make sure we're not making fun of him. He loved having these read back to him, during his
Right.
life. And I know that he would be happy to be a part of this show. In fact, our psychic friend Jenny said that he is happy that we're doing this
was,
show
yes.
and he's happy to be a part of it.
that's it.
So
So
I picked one out already. Anyway, So this is about his friends, Bud and Shirley. They were a couple,
Okay.
an elderly couple. And Bud actually used to be the weatherman for WCCO, Bud Kraling.
Oh, wow.
He used to be the weatherman in the 70s, probably even earlier than that. And he and my dad were friends because, my dad worked at WCCO. So this is Bud, and this is about Bud and Shirley. And my dad says, at least they've got each other for conversation, whether it's bric-a-brac or Heidi, Heidi, ho. Heidi, Heidi, ho. So, Heidi, Heidi, ho. Sounds like the Christmas poo. Mr. Hanky.
Yeah.
South Park. Wasn't that South Park?
South Park. Yep.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Well, I think we can wrap.
Well, thanks, everybody.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Later.
Thank you for listening to the Activity Continues podcast. We really appreciate you giving us your ears for a bit. Please reach out if you have a suggestion for which episode of the Dead Files we should cover next, or if you have a spooky story you'd like us to share on the show. We can be reached at theactivitycontinues@gmail.com or through our website or any of our socials. Links are all in the description of the show. Please feel free to drop us a note and say hi. And join us next time when the activity continues. The Activity Continues is produced by me, Amy, at Collected Sounds Media and is part of the independent Collected Sounds podcast network. We are also proud members of the Boo Pod network of super cool podcasts.
Nailed it.